Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with a battle of the setting powders, and this is actually going to be the Kat Von D Lock-It setting powder versus the e.l.f. HD Under Eye setting powder. Now, the reason why I wanted to actually test these two out against each other is because recently for my birthday I was given a Sephora gift card. So I went to Sephora, I picked up a couple other things, and actually got a sample of the Kat Von D. I just saw some good reviews on it, really like Kat Von D. And I know her Lock-It foundation really does keep you matte, so I was just thinking, okay, so how does the setting powder work? So I got my hands on a sample of it, and I actually wanted to compare it to something that I already had in my collection, and that's the e.l.f. HD Under Eye setting powder, so the one specifically for setting your under eye. I've been using this forever, and the reason why I use it is one, because the price, it's only like $4, and two, I think it does a great job. I think because of the little bit of, I don't want to say shimmer, but just a little bit of satin that it has to it, it does a great job of setting my under eye concealer, but because it has those little particles in it, it does a great job of not making my skin look flat. So it's almost a nice brightening effect, exactly what I'm looking for. And I'm also trying to just do the best I can as far as keeping my skin as matte as possible throughout the day. And one of the things I thought about was trying some different setting powders and see if maybe that would make a difference, because in all honesty, the e.l.f. Under Eye HD setting powder does not claim to keep you matte. It definitely claims to blur, look fantastic under camera, and just have this nice smoothing velvety finish, but it does not claim to keep you matte. So I was just wanting to test out a couple things, wanted to try the Kat Von D. Actually fell in love with the sample that I got from Sephora. Like, I love the Kat Von D Lock-It setting powder. I think it does a beautiful job. It too has some type of sheen to it, so it doesn't leave your skin looking flat matte. It actually has like a nice bit of brightness and definition to it. So absolutely love it. And I love the fact that the Kat Von D actually is a little bit more of a yellowy, almost, has a little bit more color to it, whereas the e.l.f. HD Under Eye setting powder is just bright white. So I was also wanting to see if maybe that would make a difference as well. So I do have a demo for you guys of where I'm applying the e.l.f. on one eye and the Kat Von D Lock-It setting powder on the other, as well as a wear test. So if you are interested in seeing whether or not, you know, these two perform the same, or if one is better than the other, then definitely keep on watching. Okay, so I went ahead and applied most of my makeup to the point of concealer. So I've moisturized it, I've toned, I've primed, I've done all that kind of stuff. I'm also testing out another theory, so I've done that as well, but you'll see that in another video, so I'm not going to mention it here. And I've went ahead and put on my IT Cosmetics CC cream, and the reason why I use that is because it's my everyday ride or die CC cream. It provides coverage, and it does so many things. It's a fantastic multitasker, but the main reason why I'm using it here is because I use it every day, so I know for a fact how it's going to perform, what other powders or what other setting powders look like on it, you know, when they start breaking down. Like, I have a very nice familiar base with it, so that's why I normally use that in any of my testing. So I've already put that on, and for concealer, y'all know I use my Tarte Shape Tape because I love that. I don't care what nobody say, I love me some Tarte Shape Tape. So I've used that, I blended it out, and now I'm going to go in with my setting powder. On this side right here, I'm actually going to use the Kat Von D setting powder, and then on this side I'm going to use the e.l.f. So I'm just going to go in with this e.l.f. blush brush. Hope you guys can see that. Love this brush for setting powder. Love it, love it, love it. And I'm just going to take just a little bit. Now I will say this Kat Von D, it'll cloud up on you, so be very careful, and it's hard for me to get a little bit, but it's all right. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, so I'm trying to tap this off in this lid here, but it's so much. All right, so I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to apply it to my face. Just apply it to the areas where I've set, or apply it to the areas where I've put that concealer, because that's a very thick concealer. It wears beautifully throughout the day, but I just like going in there with the nice setting powder just to make me feel all warm and fuzzy. And I do this several times because I do want to press this into my skin. I have been using my sponge dampen, the same sponge I use to apply my foundation. Lately I have been using that same dampened sponge to apply setting setting powder to my face, because I do feel like it does help press that into the skin and it just prolongs the wear. Plus it helps that you're not picking up another tool in the morning or whenever you're doing your makeup. You know, the more things you can do with just one tool, the easier it is, the cleaner it is as far as all the stuff on your vanity, and just to me, just the more efficient it is when it comes to your makeup routine. But I do know that I feel like sponges are more of a YouTube thing, not and every single person has one. So I did want to do this demonstration with the brush, because I feel like more people use a brush than an actual beauty sponge. So I'm just going to keep patting that in, just making sure that's all nice and set in there. Feeling all nice and good about it. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Under Eye setting powder over here, and what I'm doing is just tapping a little bit in my lid, and you can definitely tell the e.l.f. is more white, whereas the Kat Von D has a little bit of a yellow tint to it. But I'm just going to go in with that same brush other side. Don't you worry, I kept that side clean. And I'm just going to go in, tapping that off. And you know, it's easier not to get a lot with the e.l.f. That Kat Von D, you were just destined to get a lot. And I'm just going to pat that around those areas, the same areas, but on a different side. And just making sure it's nice and set. Just patting that along. Once I get under my eye, up here on my nose, and that kind of thing. And just nicely setting that. Okay? And what I'm going to do, so you guys will be able to see, is I'm going to actually get up close so you can see what the difference of the two looks like. Okay, so this is up close what it looks like. So remember, this side was the e.l.f. Setting powder, under eye setting powder, and then this side right here is the Kat Von D. And I have to be honest and say, to me, they look identical. Like you would think, I would say that the Kat Von D, in all honesty, does look a little more natural. It just doesn't look. It just doesn't look as bright, and I think that's just because the Kat Von D had that yellow tone, whereas the e.l.f. had the white. But both sides, in my opinion, especially by the fact that I always wear the e.l.f., I think, in my opinion, both of these sides look amazing. I love the look of both of these. So I'll go ahead and zoom back out and let you guys see. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off, do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back in with the check-in time. Alright guys, so here's the finished look, and I will say, disclaimer, I'm trying to do two things at once, so you'll probably see the same look in another video, but your girl's trying to multitask. I'm trying to get this YouTube game down. I'm trying to get there, y'all. So you will probably see the same finished look, but it's about different pieces of it. So I hope that's okay with you guys. So here's the finished look, and like I said, the makeup, everything blended out beautifully over it. You know, I didn't have any problem applying any of the warmth that I put to the outside of my face. I didn't have any problem adding my blush. I didn't have any problem blending anything out whatsoever. Normally at the end of my makeup routine, I do actually go in with a close to my skin tone setting powder and set my T-zone, but because I want to see how both of these setting powders perform throughout the day, I did not do that. I did put some on my forehead, on my chin, but that's not where I applied the two setting powders that we're testing out anyway, so just an FYI on that one. And I do want to remind you real quick that this side is the e.l.f. Undereye HD Under Eye setting powder. And then this side right here is the Kat Von D setting powder. So I am very interested to see how both of these perform, especially side by side, because I love the Kat Von D. I wear the e.l.f. all day, every day, but I've recently fallen in love with the Kat Von D, but it does come with a much higher price tag than the e.l.f. So I really want to see, is it worth your money? So I will be back. Oh, I'm sorry. Check-in time is 9 o'clock. Hope you guys can see that. So check-in time is 9 o'clock. I do have something to do with Girl Scouts, so we will be at an animal shelter, so we'll be moving, we'll be shaking, we'll be sweating, and I am a sweater. Your girl sweats. So I will definitely be putting both these setting powders to the test, and I will come back and let you see how both of them wore. Okay guys, so it has been probably about 7 hours, I want to say. Let me look on here. Okay, so it's 5:24. I hope you guys can see that. Okay guys, so here are the up close claims. I hope you can see a little bit better than what you could see before. And quick reminder, Kat Von D, e.l.f. And I did forget to mention earlier that the claims on Kat Von D, the Kat Von D Lock-It Setting Powder actually does claim a mattifying look. So it does claim to keep you blurred, smooth, mattified, whereas the e.l.f. says nothing about mattifying. It just says velvety finish. But you know, the Kat Von said that. And guys, if you can see what I'm seeing, I hope you can see up close. I do have a little bit of separation here on my upper lip, which normally happens. It's normally right here and right here. And as you can see, it's on both sides. So there is no difference amongst that. As you can see here, normally my nose is an area I like to look at, and I think the nose area looks the same. The pores over here and the pores over here, to me, again, look the same. I do have some intense pores, so honestly, that's not something that's a deal breaker, because that's normally how it comes across. It would probably do better if I did a better primer, but you know, that's a me, not it. Again, under eye looks exactly the same. I mean, if you guys can see what I'm seeing, I don't really see a big difference. The only difference that I can see is I feel like the Kat Von D side is a little bit more dewy and shiny than this, and I'm talking about a smidgen of an amount. I'm talking about like to the point where I really shouldn't have said anything. But if I'm really nitpicking it to death, I would say the Kat Von D side is just a tad bit more shinier than the e.l.f. side. And as I mentioned probably later on, I do think the makeup on the e.l.f. side just looks more original as far as the intensity and the placement and everything. Just slightly faded over here on the Kat Von D side. But again, very slight differences. So I really hope you guys can see what I'm seeing up close. Sorry, in my opinion, they perform almost the exact same way. Okay, so overall, what do I think? Honestly, guys, I think, amazingly enough, that e.l.f. HD Under Eye Setting Powder held up beautifully to the Kat Von D. I'm not even gonna lie, like, both sides look almost identical. No, are beautiful. I will say I was wearing my glasses, so you see a little bit of dents, but again, same on both sides. Neither one held up more than the other. I do have creasing under my eye, but I always have creasing under my eye, so I blame that on application in person versus the actual makeup. So overall, guys, seriously, I mean, you guys let me know, because looking in the mirror, I don't really see a difference. I mean, I don't see a difference as far as the oil production. I don't see a difference as far as the fading and everything like that. Like, I really don't see a difference. So honestly, in my opinion, just being honest with y'all, get the Kat Von D if you just like Kat Von D and you just want your little bit more high-end product. But I'm going to be honest with you, the e.l.f. HD Under Eye Setting Powder, which is only $4 versus $30, what? Like, I'm going to have to be honest, y'all, and probably say I'm not going to be purchasing the full amount of the Kat Von D, and I'm probably going to take another one that I purchased back after I test that out to see how that compares to the e.l.f. That might be a video too. What do y'all think? I don't know. But I'm thinking about might taking that back too, because everybody wants some high-end, especially if you are a beauty lover. You just want a high-end product in your arsenal. You just do. But to me, there's a difference between just having it to be having it when you know something else in your collection works just as fine that costs you how many more times less. So I won't be picking up a full amount of the Kat Von D. But on the positive side, go e.l.f. So I hope this information was helpful to someone else out there, especially if you're like me and sometimes you get caught up in the high-end craze, or if you were just wondering, you know what, do you get your money where you get more for your money whenever you step it up in price range for the setting powders. In my opinion, for my skin type, which I don't know if I mentioned that at all, I do have oily skin type. Very oily skin type. So, I mean, I produce a lot of oil and I have to blot and I have to actually pay attention and use products and applications that actually prevent the oil production from being as intense as it normally is. So just so you know, oily skin diva over here. So I really hope that information helps someone else out there. If it did, definitely give this video a thumbs up. And please, while you're here on my channel, take a look around and see what else your girl has to offer, because I have other reviews that you guys might be interested in, especially if you're looking for some new concealer or if you're looking for a matte blush. I got you. Definitely got you. So if you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.